we started.
Oh, that's cool. We go. Welcome back to the 2% Podcast. I'm Nantambu-Akil Fentress. I'm here with my host, Ro Coleman, Harrison Ray. We have a very special guest here today, personal to me. Got my brother, same mama, same daddy type brother. Okay, let's not get it twisted. Same household, everything. We got University of Miami alum. We got a state champ in high school as well. Mm-hmm. Welcome, my brother Nantambu-Akil Fentress. Welcome to the podcast, my brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all having me, man.
I forgot to mention the author of a book. Okay, let's not slide over that. Now. All right.
Long time ago.
Okay, so let's get into it, man. Let's talk about the 2%. 2%, what it means to you. You know, earlier we talked about how only 2% of high school athletes make it to play at the Division I level, and so the work that goes into it, the sacrifice that goes into it, the discipline. Talk to us about your recruitment process and how you end up being in Miami.
Okay, so the 2%, it really didn't hit me strong until I started working with some of these kids out here, like 7-on-7s. Then I started I would travel to see how many kids were out there from all over in different walks of life, right? And I'm like, God, there's hundreds and hundreds of these kids out here from all over. And I was like, okay, this is Tennessee, a little bit of Georgia. We have some people come from Indiana, Minnesota, but I'm like, they all trying to get to the same spot. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. Then I realized, okay, I see why you got, D3, D2, D1, D1 AA, all this kind of
stuff.
JUCO, yeah. And it kind of hit me hard because I always heard coaches say, like, not all y'all gonna make it, not all y'all gonna make it. And for me, that never registered because for me, I was like, yo, he's not talking to me. Yeah. But sometimes I don't agree with coaches when they say that, but I get why they do it because it's the truth. Only, like you said, 2% only make it. But sometimes that's when you got to understand that you got to have good habits and a strong mindset early. All right, because your habits, ultimately, they crystallize into your character. And your character will take you a lot farther, I feel like, than your talent will. And I know that's kind of cliche, but it's the truth because for me, I was never the most talented, always undersized from a jit. Like, I've always been undersized. Never been the fastest, never been the strongest, but you weren't going to outwork me. You weren't going to outwork me in the classroom. You weren't going to outwork me on the field. You weren't going to outwork me off the field. Whether it was networking, whatever, you just weren't going to outwork me. I wasn't going to have that. And so there would be times when I was coming up, I was the one that's asking my dad, like, hey, take me to the hill. Take me to the I want to go run. I'm talking when I'm like 11, 12 years old. Like, take me to the hill. Sometimes I couldn't get somebody to go with me, but it's cool. It's cool. Man. I did it by myself.
That bed felt good.
Yeah, sometimes I get up in the morning and I just go run to the high school that's like a mile and a half up. I'll run down and back. And I just like 11, 12. Like, I'm not talking about, like, I just get up and I just go run. Because for me, I knew what I wanted to do with my life and I knew where I wanted to go. So the dream to go to Miami for me, it started when I was like 6. I think that's when they wanted it all. It's like 6 or 7. 6. I was about to turn 7. And I was like, yo, I got to go there. I saw the legacy. I saw the tradition. I saw how just the swagger, it spoke to me, right? And, Nashville is SEC country. Nobody thinking about going to ACC. At that time, I think they were the Big East. Nobody thinking about that. But for me, I'm like, I'm going to Miami. And so I just kept that grind. I went to camp when I was like 13, and I got to experience it and kind of be down there with Larry Coker and Randy Shannon and some of those guys. I was like, yo, this is what I gotta come here some kind of way. Now, I was down there. I saw that it's different. Like, I saw the board, hey, it's different. I said, I got some work to do. I said, it's a little different, man. Them boys coming out, it's 100 degrees. They black on black tights, black air. I'm like, what? Are they not hot? You feel me? Like, I'm like, this is different, man. And so I was like, all right, I got a lot of work to do. So that gave me some perspective. So I just grinded, man. I just kept working. I live by 2 things. Do more than what's required and don't settle for what's expected, right? Do more than what's required, don't settle for what's expected. And as I was going through high school, I started to see more and more what was kind of expected of me. All right, so we'll get into the recruiting process. So I'm in high school. Mind you, 9th grade, I'm 5'1" in high school. 9th grade, okay? Hey, chill, bro. Come on, bro.
Shorter than me, bro.
Relax. You feel me? Like, I'm a 5'1" freshman playing linebacker, right? So I get there, and I've never played anything. I played DB like when I was like junior pro, right? Like, that's 11, 12, 9 and 10. Actually, 9 and 10, I was linebacker, 11, 12, junior pro safety, but never had the back pedal in my life. I'm saying that because later on, as y'all know, I had to play safety. So they put me at corner because of my size, but still, they played like a squat corner, so we never had the back pedal. So it's just like, okay, see it, go get it. That was it. Then after a while, they realized, okay, he's not the fastest. Probably can't put him at DB. So they moved me inside. So I'm 5'1", 130-something pound linebacker in high school. And we didn't have a freshman team at the time, so he was just playing with the seniors. And it was my daddy that kind of whipped me into shape, and he grabbed me because he noticed that sometimes I would play down to the talent that was around me. And like it wasn't like a talking to, like it was one of those times I'm just chilling in the car. All of a sudden, bow, like just hit me like, bro, what you doing? I said, like at first I was shocked at first. I'm like, I couldn't speak. I was like, I can't cry though. But I was like, I'm like, what you mean? Like he's like, nah, man, I ain't bring you up like that. You feel me? I ain't bring you up like that. Either you gonna lead, you feel me, or you gonna like we don't follow. He always used to tell us like if you get in some trouble, make sure you the one that started the trouble. Don't be the one following people in the trash. Like don't do that. He's like, I ain't praying you to dumb down. You give 100% no matter who you playing, where you playing, wherever you at. 110. I want to see that again. That's not how I brought you up. And so after that, man, I got myself in shape, and it was on and popping, man. I just wanted the coaches to see that I could play. Whatever you get, you go hard at it. People gonna see you. You just hit whatever come your way. Anything opposite color you hit. Whatever you're on scout team, whatever. And that's the thing I gotta tell kids, man. Like if you're on scout team, it's not a bad thing. Like yeah, you there for be a hitting dummy, but if you refuse to be a hitting dummy and you hit who's trying to hit you, like coaches gonna notice that. So I just wrecked anything that came my way. I wrecked it. Did not care who it was. I ain't care you the senior. I ain't care I ain't care who you were. You gonna come to me one-on-one, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna try to make you feel me. That's just how it is. Anyway, so my interest letters and things of that sort came from mostly Ivy Leagues. It was Harvard, it was Brown, Columbia. Everyone wanted me to go to Harvard and Brown. I think Brown showed the most interest. The school that I actually went on one visit, it was to Davidson College.
I remember that.
It was to Davidson, and again, they wanted me for running back. I'm like, why everybody keep wanting me for running back? I only carried the ball a few times. Now I look back, I did average almost 6 yards to carry. Like it was like I just did a little something when I got the ball. You feel me? When those guys went down or whatever the situation may be. But I'm like, bro, I'm not a running back. I don't care to do all that, you know. But the visit was cool. Looking back, it was no respect to that college. That university was very prestigious. Like academics on point, on par. The guys that toured me around, they were really nice, and you know they put me on game and showed me around some of the girls. But it just wasn't Miami. I'm sorry, it just wasn't Miami. Like they took me out, and it's just crazy looking at that recruiting versus how I saw when they brought recruits in from Miami. It's kind of night and day. The structure's still the same. They pair you up with somebody, you go hang out, and you know they put you on game with a few chicks. You feel me? Like and after a while, like I paired up one dude. He was also there for running back, and we got with some girls that were like Greek or something. It was crazy, bro. I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna like college.
I don't remember this, brother.
I think I'm gonna like college. Oh, I ain't tell you what they were Greek, bro. It was something like they were foreign, bro. I think they were Mediterranean for sure.
Oh, you say Greek? You mean I thought you mean like Greek in terms like sorority Greek.
No, like
actual
foreign.
Greek.
Yeah. They were Mediterranean, catching up, right? But it was cool, man. But I just like they're not Miami, so I said, look, I gotta figure out how to get here. So I said, look, I'm gonna use this. I've always been smart. Like what grade wise, like school came kind of natural to me. But I worked at it. So like we had study periods in terms of like free periods. I was the nerd, man. I was always either in the library or I was always in like one of the little commons area, and I was doing my homework.
We hooping. We in the gym. We hooping.
Yeah. So me and Cal were a little night and day on that. So when I had free time, I utilized it to the best of my ability because I didn't want to go home with homework, and I started taking APs and stuff like that. So I had time to really just chill. And they were like, bro, you ain't coming out to kick it with the comments. Like everyone knew what I was on. I was serious. My goal was just, look, I got to get to Miami. The only way I'm going to get there is if I get my academics on point and to keep them there. And, you know, and that's really what happened, man. I got into Miami. I applied early admission because I was betting on myself, man. Because, you know, if you apply early admission, you don't get in. It's no like, okay, we put you on wait list, nothing like that. Like, it's done for you.
This is it.
I think it's early admission, early decision, one of the two. And, like, I bet on myself, man. I bet on myself. Next thing I know, I get that big envelope. I was like, man, like, I'm finally about to go to Miami. You know? And it was definitely a blessing. So that's when the story started, man. And so I said, look, we're going to get to Miami and we're going to walk on. And for you guys who don't, like, anybody want to know about the walk-on process, it's all different, but you got to take initiative. I tell a lot of kids, like, you got to take initiative. You can't just sit back and wait for things to come your way. You just can't do that. So freshman year, it's cool. I just kept working, and I knew special team was going to be my thing. So I wrote down my goals. I said, look, we're going to make sure we're on the team. I saw my locker, saw the U. I'm like, man, I'm here. I was number 40 at the time. And I was like, look, I'm going to make sure I'm on the team, make sure I get on kickoff, and try to get on some games at linebacker. Because they still had me at linebacker. They did not move me. All right? Did not move me. So at the time they measured me, I was like, I think it was 5'9" 3/4. And I was like, damn, I can't get 5'10"? Like, I didn't know you could lie on your roster, though. There's a couple guys my size, they put 5'11", 6 foot. I was like, damn. So I was honest. I was like, nah, I can't round up. It's what it is, what it is. And I just kept hitting people, man, and that was it. Ray Armstrong, some of those boys started knowing, like, hey, this just hitting. Like, I was bringing it every play, and it was just kickoff. I was like, let me just make kickoff. Because you got to be a dog in kickoff. Like, it wasn't no slouches. You got to be a dog in kickoff. Next thing you know, bro, 4th game of the season, PD goes down, as Philip said. I'm in there. I make a play, the rest is history. Yeah. They do a little documentary on all that. Then sophomore year, I started playing linebacker at the nickel package, like starting. Still no scholarship, but I'm starting. Linebacker, nickel package. And then sophomore year, junior year, they gave me scholarship, earning scholarship. They moved into safety, which I hated. And I wanted to make sure kids know, like, look, when the coaches tell you a different position, like, own it. You know what I'm saying? You got to own it. Don't complain about it. Don't be pissed off about it. Make that position your thing, man. Like, go all in. And I don't think I gave it my all because, like I said, I ain't backpedaled until this time. I'm 20 years old now. And now they want me to backpedal. It's a foreign position. But I understand they did that because I was smart. Because at safety, man, you got to run the show. You look at down the distance, you look at personnel, you see what personnel based on the down the distance and where they are on the field, you like, okay, they're probably gonna come out in this formation. Out of this formation, what plays do they like? And all this is going while the play is about to happen. So you anticipate. And I got good at that, but I didn't really trust it. I trusted my instincts in linebacker, didn't really trust them in safety. Sometimes I would see a tail and I'm like, oh, I should go in and jump this. But I was like, I'm hesitant because I didn't want to jump the cheese. They hit a route behind me because I kept hearing that. It was just a lot I had to figure out. And then senior year, I started at safety. And that's when things started to shake a little bit, man.
So before we even talk about the senior, I want to backtrack all the way back because people don't even know about how Miami. So we had a guy at the time at a high school, Antonio Richardson, and so 6'6", 310,
muscle,
6-pack, 6% body fat, like shredded, and so all these schools coming down, and Miami comes down to see you. Well, they come down to see Tiny, to see Tiny. Yeah. And
y'all call him Tiny?
Yeah,
call him
big,
Tiny.
Big Tiny.
Big Tiny.
Big Tiny.
He ended up going to UT and he ended up playing with the Vikings.
But knees jacked up, but it's whatever.
So they come down and see him, and everybody in the school knows that you want to go to Miami. Yeah, coaches know, the locker room know,
everybody,
regular students, everybody know. But they ain't tell that was coming down. Yeah. Talk about that, man.
It hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt. Cause like I said, like since 7th grade, cause that's when I got into this school in Nashville. Since then, everyone knew I wanted to go to Miami. Everyone knew I was my fan. They would make fun of me if they had lost, whoever it was, like, oh, what your squad do this week? You feel me? And I wasn't hearing that, man, but everybody knew. And it kind of hurt because my coaches knew. And like I said, I don't fault them. I get it. I understand why they didn't think that, okay, Miami's really for you. But still, give me a shot. Let me talk to the coach. Let me see what it takes. Like, let me see what they're looking for, something. And it just put more fuel on the fire, man. Like, I just got more motivated, more determined, because sometimes it's okay to be stubborn, like intentionally stubborn, intentionally hard-headed, I like to call it. No matter what people kind of tell you, if you know you put in the work, you know you can get there, you block out all that noise, man. You keep that tunnel vision and you go for it. You go for it, but you got to put in the work. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to get there regardless. Like, no, you got to work. You got to do some things. You got to sacrifice time. Like, I wasn't going out like that in high school. Nope. Nah. One, we didn't have a car, you know what I'm saying? But two, like, I didn't really get my license until I was 18. But I wasn't worried about that. Everybody was worried about who dating, who did. No, studies, I got to get to Miami. Studies, I got to get to Miami. That was it. I was a nerd, bro. I just was athletic, so nobody, like, really
Cuz was the only one with a rolling backpack in the school, though.
Had a rolling backpack.
But not like not a regular rolling backpack, like a suitcase type rolling
Samsonite,
backpack.
baby. Samsonite, okay? Hey, man, but they used to joke like, hey, bro, you should
really doing that.
Yeah, they said, bro, you should put spinners on that thing. Oh, boo, where you going? What time's your flight take off? Yeah. I'm like, I just look at him like, bro, I'm not hurting my back. You feel me? I'm good. Like, I'm not carrying my books all day class. I had my rolling backpack. Real. I didn't care how it looked. I had Merrills, bro. I was wearing Merrills. No disrespect to Merrills, but no one wore Merrills. Everyone was wearing Sperry's or Wallabies, bro. Like, we couldn't wear tennis shoes, but I was one of a few people rocking Merrills.
Know what Merrills are. They the slip-on grandpa shoes.
Like mountain climbing, you could do all that.
To edit that, bro. Clip that in.
Yeah.
Bro, like, I just did not care how it looked, bro. Like, I just didn't. I was there for one reason only.
So you had a visit, or we scheduled as a family to go down to Miami, I think for, I don't know, someone just to go see the campus after a game, going down Saturday. And I recall head coach at the time at Ainsworth making a beeline to Daddy to go to prevent you, because I think y'all had a Saturday practice.
Oh yeah.
And he went and made a beeline. This is your senior year. And it's like, we need him. I don't know what he said to Pops, but he was like, don't go, because you were the leader of the team. Like, you can't miss that Saturday practice. But it's like, and he actually said, I will fly him down there myself to Miami. And it didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
But it's cool, man, like I said, because I don't recommend that for most kids. Like, yeah, go to your workouts if you want to. Your high school workouts if it's required. Like, be a part of the team. I get it. That's a big part of it. But I ain't go to workouts in high school either. Not to them to the last week of my senior year. Because what they were doing wasn't, like, it was still good stuff, but it wasn't what I needed. Yeah. I was on a different mission, man. Like, I wasn't trying to play just for high school. I'm trying to get to the next level. So when I got there and they had the test, they thought I was going to fail. Like, it was like 20 110s. I'm leading the whole time down there. But to the point, like, I started pushing the young class because I remember Anthony, Beatty and all them boys. They Corn, I think Lil Ramsey may have been hurt at the time, but they all started pushing. Like, the young boys started trying to catch me, and they started leading because I was not going to lose. Like I said, I wasn't fast, but I don't get tired. Like, you're not going to outwork me, dog.
So, like, you were doing your own workouts?
Yeah, I did my own workouts because they weren't going to work as hard as me. They weren't going to work as hard as me. They just weren't. And, like, I'm not arrogant about that. Just, it's facts. You're not going to work harder than me. I don't skip reps. I do extra if anything. Like, I don't know. But, yeah, that didn't happen. But it's cool. Like, I came back. I killed workouts, and the team still voted me damn near unanimously to be team captain for that year. So, whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, just listening so far, like, I see a lot of similarities between you and your younger brother. But, like, for me, it's like you are so comfortable in, like, your own self, like, just being you. And you said, like, when you were 11, like, you used to just get up and go run. But, like, was that something that, like, your parents brought on to you and, like, got you to understand? Or, like, when did that really start where, like, you're like, man, I'm going to do my own thing. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you could come with me. You could do it with me. Or, like, I'm going to just be me. Like, I'm going to truly, genuinely be myself. And I don't care what the outside or what anybody else says about it. Like, when did that, like...
it started at a young age because, like, my pops used to work out when I was young. I'm talking, like, 3, 4 years old. Like, he'll go work out, and I just work out with him. Like, I was running hills at that age. Like, the ones that see the hill, we used to run them jokers. Like, I would just run. He wouldn't make me. I just wanted to run.
Gotcha.
I wanted to do what he was doing. And so we got a good balance because, like, my mom used to always tell us, you can do all things through Christ, and I full-heartedly believe that. And faith without work is dead. Like, I was believing that. So I'm like, look, if I put in the work, it's gonna follow. It's gonna come through. Now I know that's a little issue for some people. It's like, nah, what if it don't? This, that, and so. But you can't think like that. You just can't. So you just focus on that, and then you adjust along the way. And then Pops, on the other hand, he was always like, look, one, don't worry what other people say. He always says that, don't worry about other people think about you. It's not important. And he always tells us, like, look, don't front load yourself when that comes to the social aspect of high school. That's like, you don't need to front load. You get all that on the back end. Right now, if this is what you want to go, you handle that. Don't worry about what anyone else has to say.
Yeah, man. So let us fast forward back to Miami and what you didn't mention before in your first year that you was on the baseball team as well. So talk to us about that.
Okay, so I'm in school, and the season had ended, and I don't know, something was calling me like, bro, you're already a walk-on. You feel me? You're already not getting paid to be here. So I said, why not go for your second love as well? And so I went over there, talked to Coach Morris, met Gino, JD, and they said, shoot, yeah, we got trials coming up. Like, come on, it would be in January. It was going to be in January. That's when trials were. And I came home and I was trying to throw at you. And I would throw at him just to, like, get back into the swing of things. And at that time, I didn't realize, bro, I couldn't throw. My arm was killing me. Like, my shoulder was on fire, dog. Like, to the point, like, it wasn't like just push through. Because early that season, I ain't really told anybody this. Like, everyone think it was a Duke game because you can kind of look it up. There's a highlight still from my freshman year. We played Duke. I had a nice little sideline hit. We were blowing them out because I got in a few. Like I said, my goal was just get in on a few games at linebacker, right? But we were blowing them out. And like I was still doing special teams or whatever. And I had a nice little sideline hit. Woo, like I was talking, you feel me, talking my shit and all that. But my jump was on fire. Everyone thinks that's when my shoulder started hurting. People don't realize it was actually 2 weeks prior. We were doing special teams drill, bro. All drills, special teams drills, servicing one another. And I had the pad like this, and I went up with the hit. Because, you engage and extend. I went up with it, and my joint clicked. And I said, oh, frick. I said, what? What just happened? But I thought I was straight. But the whole time, every time I do a little certain hit or I'll take on a block, it would like click in and out. I'm like, bro, what's going on? And then to the point started hurting when I tried to sleep on it. But I said, no, it's just part of the game. I'm not losing my spot. Like, I gotta play. I'm not losing my spot. And I started throwing him. I realized something was wrong. But I said, no, I gotta try it in January. I'm gonna just rest it and I'm gonna come out there. Thanks be to God, like I came out there, I killed it. So I hit left and right. I'm switching it. And I was rocking it. Bow. I wasn't hitting like nothing over the fence, but I'm gap shots. Bow, bow. Like straight to the fence. Bow. Just lining them. I worked it short because I played second in high school. And bro, it was coming out nice. Like some nice zip on it. Nice zip. I'm humming that bit. But as soon as the trial ended, my arm I couldn't feel it. It was numb.
Hanging.
It was numb, bro. But I ain't let them know. I said, hey, let me just get some ice. So I found out I make the squad, like locker, on the roster, everything. Make the squad. I'm like, bet. Damn near second, third practice, bro. Try to come across the bag for turn 2, do that bit right in the ground. Like, first time, like, I skipped, I was like, nah, we straight. They were looking at me like, bro, you straight? Like, your arm all right? Because they could tell something was off. And I appreciate them trying to, like, reach out, but I'm like, no, I'm good. My boy Ryan at the time, Ryan Otero, he was good too, but he's like, bro, if you hurt, bro, you can't. Like, nah, bro, I just made the team. Like, I can't do that, man. And there was another one. He's like, hey, let's run it back. Man, they hit it short, come across the bag, do it. When I say, like, straight, I'm talking like 2 feet into the ground, bro. And my arm went numb again. And like numb and tingling. I was like, damn, something is wrong. Pulled me off, did a little shoulder test, and it's like, nah, you gotta get MRI. I found out it was torn up. And they thought it was just a slap tear. They went in, they wrote posterior shoulder reconstruction. They like had to redo all of that back up. Sometimes I think it's you hear some things because some people's like, hey, what's the reason for this? Is there a reason? Sometimes there is no reason, and other times, sometimes God's nose a little bigger than the yes. That's just what it is. So kind of let you know that, hey, you don't need to pursue this. Like, go ahead. Because remember, I ain't had no scholarship. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have this, but like, it'd have been cool to be a dual sport athlete.
Yeah.
But that just went in the cards for me, man.
You went to the U, man. Talk to us about that.
Oh,
what does it mean? Why is that so big down there?
It means a lot, man, because you always want to battle for who's the biggest school in Florida. You got that school up north in the Garden and the Gold. I'm not gonna say their name. I hate them with a passion. It's just what it is. Then you got the Gators. We don't hate them as much, but we hate them. You know what I'm saying? And then it's us. You always want to battle. No disrespect to the other schools that are there. All right, UCF, all them, but like, it's
They
big
really,
three.
yeah.
You feel me? It's the big three. All right, I'm sorry. It is what it is. And you just always want to battle that. But I just used to see those guys like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. And Ed Reed, I met Ed Reed actually when I was in 7th grade. He don't even know that. I met him when I was in 7th grade. And I just saw it. I'm like, bro, I could be that. You know, I can get there. I saw some of the guys they had there already. And it just being a part of that legacy, that tradition. And I get it. We ain't been there in a minute, down there 2 decades in terms of back to where that caliber of play used to be. But in terms of talent, there's always been talent. Sometimes just putting the right pieces to the puzzle together and figuring out how to utilize that talent. But it meant so much to me, dog. Like when I was down, it felt right. It felt that energy. Like I wanted to compete against the best, and I knew it was the best was down there. I'm sorry, everybody recruit out of the state of Florida, especially South Florida. That Tri-County area, they recruit out of there. I wanted to compete against the best. I didn't want to, not saying like Harvards and Browns, and even Harvard even denied me. Like it was one to say they interested. Columbia's the school that really wanted me. I mean Brown, because Harvard let me know like I wasn't gonna be able to get in. I had ACT scores to get in, but like they didn't have room for them. It's like that's cool, it's whatever. Brown was a school that they thought I was gonna go to, but no disrespect to them. But I'm like y'all ain't known for like I wanted a perfect balance. By the time Miami was top 50 institution, research institution. I knew I wanted to do biology, something in science, this sort, in medicine. And they had the best athletics, in my opinion, like the best tradition, best like we just gonna go get you. And I wanted to add to it. I needed to get some of that attitude because the attitude down there is just different, bro. Like you line them in front of me, bro. Like if you get me once, you won't get me twice. I promise you that. Like you got to see me one-on-one. I'm not folding. And I saw that like those boys, the amount of confidence. Some people call it arrogance, but the amount of swag and confidence those boys had, it just rubs off on you, man. Because they didn't think you could.
You ain't got no choice.
You ain't got no like. No one they didn't think they could be beat. Like my boy T3, man, he used to say like, bro, I don't care who it is, bro. Like Kyrie would not cross me. Like we are like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like Kyrie would shake the hell out you, bro. Like leave you your ankles there. He's like, no, he won't. Like, and he was dead serious. But that confidence, just like, yo, like you need that. And I just wanted to be a part of it. That was it. I wanted to be a part of it, and I know I belong there.
And that leads into the culture. Talk about just the culture. You kind of touched on a little bit, just the culture of Miami in itself, the culture of the team, the guys, the locker room, like just mindset. What was the culture like down there?
Well, our little 4 pillars at the time, not pillars, we had 8 pillars, but everything was built on smarter, tougher, faster, more disciplined, better condition, right? That was everything built for at that time, right? I don't know, culture for me that I recognized down there, it was like, look, you're at a place where it holds a lot of tradition. And you don't want to make those who came before you look bad.
Facts.
It's just facts. Like the standard is here. You don't want to play here. You don't want to play here. You want to rise up to their standard. Again, like it's some things, like I said, the talent was always there. The talent was always there. Just sometimes I know a lot of fans complain about they don't know everything that goes behind the scenes. There was a lot. There was a lot of pressure from administration to do this, that, and the sort, get certain guys in, certain guys out. We not having this type, but they were trying to do like a remake because we couldn't have, like, South Florida is known for just, it's a little different down there. But as far as culture, man, it was just, we're better than you. That's it. We're going to work harder. We're faster. We're stronger. We're better than you. And we're going to get to it. Like, you're not going to outwork us. We're going to work so hard in practice. It's going to be easy in the game. Like, that's just the culture. That's what we had. Now, did everybody really live up to that? That's debatable. You know what I'm saying? That some people, like, there were some days they feel like they had to do something because some people, like, may have just done enough. I'm not going to call people out, but, like, they just did enough or they led. And that's why we had so many issues, man. We got tighter as a unit, but I think as a team, we were still divided. When it comes to, like, coaches, players, like, it was just a lot of friction, and it was just a lot to try to get everybody to come and be on one page because you got to realize that at the time we had a lot of superstars, but the system that we were playing in, there aren't any superstars. I can speak only for defense. There's only one free hitter. So if you step out of your gap because you want to make a play, you leaving everybody else hanging to dry, gash. You feel me? We supposed to be encouraged, but you feel like you want to jump something and be man, like, gash. Like, it's just, so it was too much because some guys didn't feel like they were utilizing their best abilities. Like, these are my strengths. Why y'all not letting me play to my strengths? And coach was like, look, you got to play as a team. You got to play as a unit. That's what's more important. And it was just too much friction. But as a unit, though, we got a lot closer. That's why I think that 2018 team, they were like freshmen at the time. They showed out. They showed out because they knew how to, like, look, we got to buy into the system, whatever it is, and we're going to play our strength within the system and go in. So it was, but as far as the locker room, man, like, when I say we're better than you, like, it was between each other too. Yeah. All right. So it was some situations where if, like, in the locker room, say it was a situation, say if we're in the weight room, we lifting, and somebody say, bro, you are not faster than me. Uh-oh.
That's talking right
like,
there.
You're like, you are not faster than me, bro. I promise
me.
you, on God, you're not faster than me, bro. Like, and so coach was stopping right there. Coach Swayze, I remember this, bro. He stopped. He said, all right, let's go outside. The track was right there. So we went outside, bro. We put our money on who we wanted. We stand on each side of the track.
It's mid-workout.
Mid-workout. Towards the end. And it was D linemen that were talking to me. It was D linemen talking to each other. Like, bro, you not fast than me. You feel me? And, bro, like, and we lined it up right there. There was another situation where they kind of, like, some dudes kind of getting into it. And we had this saying, like, take it to the U. So we had this big old U in the, especially in the old locker room. But we had it in the new one, too, when they refurbished it. But they said, take it to the U then. So you would wrestle. If you get put on your back, you get slammed. That's it.
Are you talking about, like, real arguments right here?
Yeah,
like
real arguments. Like,
okay,
it's like, hey, bro, nah, chill out. All right, let's take it to the U.
Yeah.
Or if they got the argument in the weight room, Swayze will bring out the mats, and it'll be like wrestling. They'll start one top, one bottom, and you go from there. And you rest, and you get put on your back. It's squash, and you squash it right there. But, like, that's how we competed in there. Like, we competed like that with each other. You feel me? And it was all brotherly love. Like, it ain't no, you feel me? Ain't none of that.
That's the difference between football and baseball, because
nah, bro, like,
ain't no way we doing that.
No, yeah, if it's real argument, like, them boys, like, really getting into it, and if you fight on the field, like, we got to squash it on the field. Like, you can't bring it inside. It was a couple times they got brought inside. We broke a TV and all this stuff. Like, can't do that. Like, a whole flat screen, bro. Them boys, they too big to be fighting like that. It's too linemen, bro. Like, you can't, no. They brought it inside, but, like, you fight on the field, get it out your system, and then you be done with it.
Yeah. Give us who first of all, who talked the most trash on the team?
Tracy.
Like
Tracy.
or people like by position.
By position, okay.
Position, like,
in general, DBs, we talk the most. We talk about shit. Like, it just said it. We talk the most trash. We do. But and it was just the confidence. Like, yeah, like, Tracy talked the most trash though. If I had to think about it, Tracy talked the most trash. At DB, linebackers was a pretty solid group. They didn't really talk too much cash. If I had to give, the loudest person was DP probably, Denzel Perryman. He always used to say DP for president. That's what he always used to say. Like, even if he hit you, like, after he hit you, like, DP for president, DP, like, this crazy stuff like that. D-line, man, I'm trying to see who was the loudest person we had D-line. I wish some of the boys were here because I'm trying to see D-line. Who was the loudest, though? Now, we have some guys who were like, CP wasn't loud, but CP was like, he was one of those guys, like, even the coaches didn't mess with if he was, like, on one. That makes sense. They, like, you can't calm that man down. Like, if he on one, like, even the coaches would mess with him. But DBs were really the main ones that talked the most crap. But, like, everyone had especially during the games, like, you talking. You feel me? That's just how it is. As far as, like, offense, like, we don't really, like, I don't really, like, obviously you vibe with people outside of, but, like, when practice hit, bro, it ain't no friends.
Talk about is that defense versus offense.
No, ain't no friends, bro. Like,
they don't know about first talk about, like, the locker room situation in terms of, you got certain corners that you can't, press the locker room. You got to get a password. Like, it's real.
My freshman year, bro, I got put in the corner, and it was by numbers. So it was, like, 19 through, like, 41, I think, at the time. And it was just a little back corner back here. And at the time, like, when they thought about moving me to state, they moved to 19, right? So I was at the front of the door. It's like it's ducked off, so you can't see past this point. You can just see the two people that's sitting in front. And it used to be a situation, but you had guys like Ray Armstrong, Olivier Vernon, like those boys, like Sean Spitz. Like, you had a lot of guys back there. They just was like, you had a lot of people back there that just like, you
can't mess with those type of guys.
You're not going there. You're not going back there. You feel me? And it was legit. Like, I became the doorman. I didn't know that. So some dude just walked in there that wasn't part of that number group, and they get on me. You feel me? Boo, like Swayze, dude I talk about that. Me was like, Tombo, what you doing, bro? What you doing? Like, no, we not doing that. They got to knock. They got to knock and see what they here to see. Like, I'm like, bro, it's not that. They're like, nah, they got to knock and see what they here to see. Otherwise, they got to get dealt with. I'm like, all right. You feel me? I'm like, all right. So from there, I'm like, hey, y'all can't. But it applied to anybody. One time a coach tried to do it. Bro, he tried to bum rush in there. When I tell you he got jumped, bro, like they jumped the coach, bro. I'm telling you, kicked him out, bro. Like he's like, man, I ain't gotta do that. I'm like, coach, I like, hey y'all, we got one. Like, you feel me? He just bust up in there because like, who you here to see? If he not back here, you don't need to be back here. You feel me? Like, you gotta abide by the knock. That was in the old locker room. The new one is not really set up like that. It's very, very much more open. But the culture in the locker room, bro, it's just funny, bro. You got guys like everybody dance. You know how it is. On that, I saw similarities between baseball and football. Like, it just, when you're in the locker room, bro, it's like them your brothers, dog. Talk about whatever, who it is. Maybe a girl, whether it be like what's going on with your life, like whatever. Like, that's when you can really kind of open up. Now, you still can get made fun of. Don't trip. Like, you still get made fun of, but same time, it's okay to like open up and talk to your boys, man, because everybody got it. Like, when I say everybody got it, like my boy T, he had a neck injury, it was unfortunate, but like he had to wear a neck collar, and boy, that boy got on the plane, and everybody just started laughing. Like, they felt like, man, how much serious injury, bro. But he joked with himself about it, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, OT, look at me, OT. And he behind me, so they know he got to like turn like that. They say, OT. I'm like, man, but it's I don't know, but it's just stuff like that. But the coach in the locker room is that's the thing I miss the most. Just the coach in the locker room.
That's all. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Yeah. Even us, like, people always ask, like, do you miss the game? Do you miss playing? And it's like, I miss the locker room. Yeah, I miss the bus rides, the hotel rooms, the team dinners. You know, like, that's the part that you miss the most. Yeah. Like, being in those hotel, it's so many hotel stories. You know, nice. I know you got some hotel stories for sure.
Yeah, we like I said, DBs, man, they just talk a lot of crap, dog. And so we fight everybody. It's usually with I don't know why we pick with the D line, but we fight the biggest dudes on the defense. You feel me? And so what we do, it sucks because I'm the nice one of the bunch. You feel me? Everybody trusts Tambu. Like, that's what they like. They made me say grace because, like, bro, you the most holy. You feel me? Stuff like that. You feel me? Like, the most innocent of all of us. Like, that type of stuff. And so, unfortunately, I can't go against my brothers. So sometimes they'll use me as the setup. And it's like, hey, man, Chick, at the time, Chicolo, he had done something to somebody. It's like, hey, man, Chick been talking a lot of shit, bro. Hey, go knock on this door, Tambu. He'll let you in. Chick was my roommate, too. So I know, like, hey, man. He's like, what you want? I was like, bro, I'm chilling. I was like, what's good? Bro, Chick got to holler at you real quick. Bro, he cracked it, but they bum rushed in the room and they had to deal with Chick, man. Like, and this door, I'm like, bro, we got a game. Like, we still be chilling, you know what I'm saying? But after a while, like, we lock in, you know what I'm saying? We lock in, but like bowl game, when you're there a little bit longer, like, yeah, it's like, it's a lot of that. We same situations, a lot of wrestling, always trying to put somebody on their back. And they don't talk nothing. It's just like, you talking to each other, we having a good time, you get cut off like, hey, Jay, what you want to do? Like, it's just, like, it's like, that escalated fast, you feel me, real quick, but it's just like, hey, you wrestle, put on your back, you're done. You know what I mean? And nobody can jump in. So it's just fun, man. It's just stuff like that.
So, I mean, I guess talking about that and, like, different games, I got to bring up, like, Florida State. Like, shout out to my girl T. Ray, alumna. But Florida State, with those games, just, they look different. Like, that rivalry is That might be like out of all the rivalries, Florida State Miami might be like the top one.
It definitely
It's definitely top 3.
It's definitely for sure because I know everybody's talking about Ohio State, Michigan. They always say because they don't even say those names for real. Like I've been in Detroit and some Michigan fans, they don't talk about it.
Yeah, they don't say.
You know how they don't talk about school up north. Like they just don't do it. But yeah, man, it's nothing like that Miami Florida State, man. No matter if we're doing bad, it don't matter. Like that rivalry is still gonna be sold out. Everybody gonna tune in. At the time, man, Florida State had beat us, I think, 7 times in a row.
Who was on that team in Florida State?
That was Winston, Ramsey, I think Vontae Freeman. Like he left early though. Vontae was in my class, but like
Running
talking
back.
junior, Cook, Dalvin Cook.
That was back. That was when that Florida State was
Crawford,
really
Terrence,
down.
I think it's Crawford. They had a couple linebackers that were nice.
Was Jernigan there?
Joyner was there a few years too. I remember Joyner. That boy
Joyner
got
was
off.
there, yep.
Yeah, he got off. That boy got off. He was kind of like he played that Florida position that Ramsey kind of came into. Who else they had? They just had some dudes.
I'm
pretty
pretty sure Jernigan was there too.
Jernigan was there.
The D-line.
Yeah, yeah. And his brother was at Miami, but he got kicked. Had a little situation. But his brother was at Miami, man. I got stories about that. But they had some boys, dude. No cap. They were serious. I'm talking all 4 years. Like they were serious, man. But my senior was the worst, man. One, I'm pissed at myself. That was my worst game, bro. Like, you can't have your worst game in a game like that. You just can't. Like I'm talking. That's when I'm talking about the hesitancy, bro. There was a few times I remember, bro. There was a few times, bro. Like I knew why the coach was calling this. I saw it on film. He usually want to stop right with the tight end. He want me to buzz towards the tight end. They say, Winston look away a little bit, but I knew he's coming back to that tight end, and I split, but then I stay back. He hits it, but I could have been there to at least knock it down or like hit it, but I come so soft, bro. I was pissed, dog. Like I came in so just unsure. It was so bad, but it looked so bad. Like if you go put that up, you're like, damn, bro, what the hell? You feel me? Like I was pissing myself, and this is me being vulnerable with y'all, bro. Like, it was the only game I ever got highlighted, bro. Ain't been on nobody highlighted. Like I said, I don't get done in. Like you give me once, you don't give me twice. I made up for it. It was a call. I don't think we should have called that call, but it was a cross stunt. The guy didn't get all the way across, so it was a huge gash. I'm like 15 yards up, 1-on-1. You feel me? Like to the point, like it happened so fast. I just had to wait on Cook to kind of. I had to wait on Cook to kind of like get into the open field, and I was trying to bait him to the sideline. You remember that's what you want to do, bait him to the sideline. And man, he got me. I got too head up. He cut across field. I tried to swipe. You feel me? He didn't make me tumble or nothing, but like I tried to swipe and I missed. Now the second time, I don't know why we kept running that call. Same thing, got gashed. I said, F it, bro. I didn't even try to hesitate. I just ran, flipped him. That was it. But I was pissed because I gave up something. Because we were up like 24-3 at halftime. Lost, I think 24-27, something like that. Like, it was embarrassing, bro. Like, we finally had them. And they came back and won. Because we knew Winston going to get his interceptions. He throw that bit. He going to throw it. We had like 2 interceptions that game. And, but, offense, they say took the gas off the pedal, whatever, bro. We lost. But that rivalry, it hits different. Like, that game hit different. Like, we weren't even 7-0 that time. We met them, we were 7-0. That one hit hard, but like we were at the time maybe almost 500. Still hit hard, bro. Like you don't lose that game. We were the class supposed to beat them.
Did it hit for you like even when you weren't there? So like because you said you grew up a Miami fan.
Oh yeah, it hit.
And it kind of always was that you always had that hatred for him, right?
Always. I hated him.
Gotcha.
Still hate him to this day.
Paint a picture real quick, like a vivid picture of what it's like to run through the smoke. Like that first experience.
It's like you transform, bro. Like if you whatever you are before, you're not that after you cross that smoke. So like it was no more Mr. Nice Guy after that smoke. Like I really be trying to chill this kind of stuff, but like you become another person because especially when we had the little tunnel, bro. You walk through that thing and you can't see anything. Like we got our hands on each other. Like unless you're in the front, we got our hands on it because you can't see. You can't see. It's like you coming and all of a sudden like entering a dream, bro. Like you just coming out the cloud, and it's crazy. Just like if you ain't ready after you hit that smoke, bro, what are you doing at Miami?
You're not wired, right?
Like you just
you're not wired, right? So you kind of glazed over a little bit, but just that moment where you earned the scholarship, you earned that scholarship. Talk about that real quick.
It was now I had to go. I had to holler at Coach Golden, man, because everybody kept saying like, go talk to him, go talk to him, bro, because like, bit you undersized, whatever, you small, but bit you feel like you hit like you 220. You know what I'm saying? Like you out here playing like you playing, and some being real, like you playing over me, like bro, I'm on scholarship. You deserve to be playing. They kept saying that, but I'm like, nah, my time will come, and that was me being passive, man. But junior year, bro, I hollered at him, and apparently we talked. We didn't go to talk before. He was gonna give me the scholarship. Like I said, I didn't know we had to wait 2 years before we even be eligible for him because we had sanctioned with the Shapiro stuff, took away scholarships, so it was already low numbers. Or maybe that's something they just said. But they told us that. But it's said it was gonna give me one. I was gonna earn that regardless. But he called me to his office because like I said, I had to talk to him, man. I talked to my position coach first because I was a hierarchy. He talked to position coach, D coordinator, head coach. Talked to my position coach. I think it was a linebacker coach at the time actually too. And yeah, man. So we had a heart to heart, and you know, I thought that it is what it was. School about to start. I'm like, damn, bro, I got to get stuff paid for. Called me to his office, and I kind of knew, but I didn't want to show that I knew because I was like, man. But then next thing you know, bro, he handed me this envelope and like, bro, you putting you on scholarship for this year. You feel me? That kind of stuff. And it felt good. Like, it'd have been cool to put it in front of, you know, like how they do it now. Put it in front of everybody in front of the squad. Because, like, when I tell you, everyone was saying, like, bro, you need to be on scholarship. Like, you ain't put you on scholarship yet? You know what I'm saying? But, I don't know. It was a blessing, man. Like, it just, a sense of relief. Like, I could cry with her. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, trying to be a thug. Yeah. But, yeah, man, it was a blessing. I appreciate them boys really trying to mess with me, man. And I got that scholarship, so it was dope.
Last thing, man, before we wrap up, you had the option to go pro, and you turned it down to pursue medicine and go to med school. You know, that's very different. You don't hear about that at all, to be honest with you, to turn down that type of opportunity to go pursue medicine and be a doctor. So I guess just highlight just that decision, what went into it, and yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not going to lie, like, I hate that school up north in the Garnet and Gold, but one of the good role models was Myron Rowe. You feel me? Because I knew I wanted to be a doctor, right? But I saw what he was doing. I was like, you know what? I could be that. You know, play D1 college, be a surgeon, whatever, right? And I saw that, and I got to respect that. Oxford Scholarship, all that. Boy killed it, right? But he decided to go to the league first. Got a few years in, came back. For me, man, it was, like I said, that's the only issue. Like, sometimes I get so hard-headed, I'm so stubborn, I got tunnel vision. And for me, it was like, get to Miami, get a scholarship, go to med school. Get to Miami, get a scholarship, go to med school. I didn't think about nothing else. But once I started starting, towards the end of the season, I got a few texts. For one team. And I didn't think it was real. I thought it was like, bro, somebody spamming, bro. Man, this ain't, you know what I'm saying? But then, bro, they boys like, hey, so you need an agent? You feel me? Like, the guys will hook me up with an agent. They hit me up, say, hey, you want to go to this East-West Shriners game? I'm like, no, I'm good, bro. I'm done. I said, I'm straight. And for a guy like me who only started 1 year, had playing time all 4 years, but started 1 year, they need to see more. Scouts need to see more. So that East-West Shriners game would have been nice to see, like, oh, this boy actually can play. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I'm good. Like, I had tapped out. You feel me? I had tapped out. I was done. And next thing you know, right, pro day's approaching, whatever. And the Friday before that, I think it was Monday, I said, F it, I'll try to work out. I said, F it, I'll do it. I let them know last minute, like, look, I'll do it. But I ain't worked out. I lost all my weight, muscle, all that stuff. Like, I had lost a lot because I just was going to school. They were working out. They grinded. Day one, January hit, they grinding. I'm walking to class like, what's good? You feel me? And I work out, and the drills and stuff, I had my boy LG Gunt. He worked with me because he had just finished the combine for 1 day. And Swayze worked 1 day, hurt my ankle another day. Because I used to hop the fence at night to work out. Like, I just used to hop it. I would hop the fence and work out a little bit. And I was like, damn, I'm kind of hurting a little bit because I ain't been working out. So I said, F, we'll see what happens. I go there, and I that's what I say. I don't take things serious, bro. Because that's the first thing in my life I ever went kind of like half-buttered, not like fully invested. Like, don't do that, bro. Like, I was disrespecting the football guys at that point. Those boys had been there. Like, we had guys who used to come. They came to campus with a trash bag, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was their clothes. They came. They were hungry. You know what I'm saying? I was disrespecting going in there so light. Like, this could change your life, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pissed at myself for that. Like, I really am. And, you know, pro day happened. Do terrible on the metric stuff. Terrible. Did all right on the drills, though. And then, like, it was like, but I was like, it was a good experience. All the old heads were coming back. Like Edgar James, those boys, Clinton Portis. And it was nice. Then, you know, pro day finished. Scout, combine finished. Draft day finished. I started getting calls. You know? I was like, damn, oh, this is real. Jaguars called. They were like, hey, we ain't got no room for you, but you can come as a trial guy. One room. I'm like, I'm cool. Straight. Bills called. Now, I didn't know that my coaches were still kind of working for me. Like, they just said, F it, like, you got the room, whatever. So Bills called, and they were going to sign me free. That was free agent. Like, that was a little bit deeper conversation, but it's like, ain't no guarantee. There ain't no guarantee you're free agent. It is what it is. You may get like $5,000 signing bonus, whatever. You high profile, maybe $20K, right? And they were like, yo, we, like, what you trying to do? Ain't no guarantee you'll make, but like, we can make this thing shake. And it was about to get into the information side. So I'm like, oh, this about to get real. I'm talking socials, all that. So let me come out people's back. Called them, pops like, hey, do what you want. Count my other brother, BJ, they were like, nah, you should go. I'm like, they're in, it's like, it's up to you. And I called him back, bro. I said, no, I'm straight. And I was like, I felt fine. But at the time, my linebacker coach was at Seattle. They had called me. He's like, bro, I know you want to do medicine. I know you're supposed to be going to med school, but just come. Like, just come for the experience. We ain't got no room for DBs. Ain't no issue. Like, ain't no pressure. Just come for the experience. Went into the Seattle, bro, and I balled, bro. Like, it felt good, man. Like, I was thinking, because their defense was kind of like ours, so I saw the connections. I saw how we would disguise one defense, but it played like another. And sometimes I would see, even though there's only a few limited amount of plays offense can run, but I would just see it. I'm like, oh, X is cut. They moving this corner because somebody got hurt. He was in Auburn. He got hurt, and I could play whatever. I didn't mind. He moving the corner. Tried to play the technique because you got to play the process. They teach it one way. They teach corner one way at the time. They taught it one way. You feel me? And you supposed to do it that way. We had too many guys that went there. One guy in particular, he just kept doing it his way. And he's like, bro, they told him straight up, you ain't going to make it here. Quick.
We'll see you.
Yeah, but, they asked me straight up. They said, look, I got to the fourth day because the first day was a little shaky. I'm not going to cap. But the last few days of that mini camp, bro, I balled, bro. Like, I dropped the book. But I balled. PBUs, calling out plays, anticipating, like, defense rallying, all that good stuff. And he asked me straight up, DB coach at the time, Coach Curtis, he was like, yo, what you study? I knew what I was getting. He's like, so would you rather be a doctor or play ball? And I told him straight up, like, I'd rather be a doctor. Mm-hmm. And I felt the air kind of, at the room kind of just, evaporated. Like, but he really just said that. But for me, like, I think it's always bigger, man. My ultimate goal is always to inspire people, man. And I feel like, I know that I'm called to do that. Because other ways you can help people, right? Yeah. But I think medicine's the only way you can help people emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally even, and just be there for them. So.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Well, that's been a great episode. Appreciate you for coming on. And
that was dope. That was dope.
Yeah,
appreciate you having me, man. Yeah, I love what y'all got going.
That was good stuff. People learn, listen, take what you need to take from the stories, and like, comment, subscribe, all that.
The 2%.
The 2%.
Yes, sir.
Leave your comments in the section and just let us know who you want on the podcast. We'll do our best to get them here. And
Facts.
we out.
We out of here.
Peace.